Having seen how active pedagogies transform classrooms through evidence and design, we now widen the lens to a global view. Around the world, education systems have been experimenting, innovating, and reflecting, each in their own cultural and policy context. Yet, despite these differences, one theme unites them all: a shared belief that quality education is built on coherence, equity, and teacher professionalism. In this next section, Part 2, Global Perspectives and Comparative Studies, we will look into how countries like Finland, Singapore, Japan, and Estonia have reimagined science and mathematics education. These nations provide not just success stories, but blueprints for continuous improvement, from Finland's inquiry-driven autonomy to Singapore's structured problem-solving to Estonia's digital transformation, powered by AI and ethics education. Para sa atin dito sa Pilipinas, lalo na sa Nueva Ecija, these examples remind us that global excellence is not about imitation, but adaptation. Learning what works, understanding why, and shaping it to fit our own learners and communities. Let us now explore what the data, policies, and classroom practices from across the world can teach us about the future of math and science education. The PISA 2022 results offer a sobering yet insightful picture of how global education systems fared after the pandemic. Across the OECD and partner economies, both mathematics and science performance declined, making one of the largest collective drops since PISA began 2 decades ago. Yet, this decline was not uniform. Some systems rebounded quickly, while others struggled to recover, revealing the deep inequalities that the crisis exposed. The top performing countries, Singapore, Japan, Korea, Estonia, and Canada, maintained strong results not through rigid testing but through systemic coherence, alignment among curriculum, instruction, assessment, and teacher development. These systems also share a common principle: a long term investment in teacher professionalism and equity. They focused on teaching quality over testing quantity and on learning continuity over short term interventions. Meanwhile, PISA's variation across jurisdictions reminds us that numbers alone do not tell the full story. Each data point represents lives, classrooms, and learning conditions shaped by context. For us here in the Philippines, and especially in our provinces such as Nueva Ecija, PISA is not a competition, it is a mirror. A mirror that helps us identify where equity gaps exist, where our students excel, and where our systems can be better support them. The lesson from PISA 2022 is clear. Equity and excellence are not opposing goals. They are parallel paths to sustainable learning recovery. Beyond data and test scores, there are stories of nations that have built education systems rooted in trust, professionalism, and innovation. The PISA 2022 findings remind us that achievement is not accidental. Behind every high performing country lies a deliberate design, one that values teachers, fosters inquiry, and aligns policy with practice. In this section, we explore four global models of excellence: Finland, Singapore, Japan, and Estonia. Each represents a unique pathway to success, yet all share a common thread: coherence among curriculum, instruction, assessment, and teacher growth. Finland teaches us the power of inquiry and trust. Singapore shows the strength of alignment and precision. Japan reminds us of collaboration and continuous reflection. And Estonia demonstrates how digital transformation can serve both innovation and equity. Para sa atin sa Pilipinas, lalo na sa ating mga guro sa Nueva Ecija, these models are not blueprints to copy, They are mirrors to learn from. They challenge us to ask, how can we adapt global wisdom to local realities? How can we empower our teachers to be innovators in their own classrooms? Let us now journey through these four systems, not as spectators of excellence, but as fellow travelers learning to shape the future of education. In Singapore, excellence is built on structure and coherence. Every component of the system, curriculum, assessment, and teacher training, is tightly aligned. Students learn through a problem solving approach, focusing on conceptual understanding rather than rote memorization. Lessons are scaffolded carefully, guiding learners from guided examples to independent inquiry. Teachers undergo continuous professional learning through national academies and mentoring networks. What makes Singapore remarkable is not its rigor alone, but its precision. Every lesson, every assessment, every training program connects to a common goal, deep understanding. Ang aral para sa atin, kapag magkakaugnay ang curriculum at pagtuturo at pag-aaral, nagiging tuloy-tuloy ang pag-unlad. Singapore reminds us that structure does not limit creativity. It sustains it. From Singapore's structured mastery to Japan's culture of collaboration, we now enter one of the most influential teacher-led innovations in the world, lesson study, or Jugyu Kenkyu. Lesson study is not just a professional development tool, it is a philosophy of continuous improvement. Teachers in Japan work together to plan, teach, observe, and reflect on real classroom lessons. They function as researchers, studying their own practice and documenting how students think and learn. The process is deeply collaborative and cyclical as shown in this lesson study cycle diagram. It begins with stage 1, setting goals. Teacher identifies specific student learning needs and formulate curricular goals, not only for content, mastery, but also for skills such as reasoning and perseverance. In stage 2, planning, the team designs a detailed lesson plan. They select strategies, anticipate student misconceptions, and determine how to collect evidence of learning, sometimes through video or classroom observation notes. Stage 3. Implementation brings the plan to life. One or two teachers teach the research lesson while others observe and record data, focusing on student thinking rather than teacher performance. Then comes stage 4, debriefing. The group reconvenes to analyze the data, discuss what worked, and refine their understanding of pedagogy. Between strategies that process loops, revised lessons are taught, observed, and reanalyzed, forming a continuous learning spiral. Through this process, Japanese teachers build collective expertise. They do not compete for rating or recognition. They collaborate for insight. Sa konteksto ng ating mga guro sa Pilipinas, lesson study offers a model of shared inquiry and professional trust. Imagine if we or if every science or math department function as a research community, testing ideas, reflecting on data, and improving instruction together. That is the heart of Japan's success. A belief that the classroom itself is the laboratory of learning and that every teacher is both practitioner and scholar. In Estonia, technology and equity grow hand in hand. The AI Leap initiative of 2024 positioned Estonia as a pioneer in responsible digital education. Artificial intelligence is integrated not as a replacement for teachers, but as a tool for deeper personalization and engagement. Students learn how AI works, why ethics matter, and how data can empower or endanger communities. Teachers, meanwhile, receive training in data literacy and AI assisted lesson design. ensuring technology serves pedagogy, not the other way around. Despite being a small nation, Estonia invests heavily in equity, maintaining strong support for rural schools and equal access to digital tools. Tulad sa ating mga paaralan sa Nueva Ecija, ipinapakita ng Estonia na ang makabagong teknolohiya ay higit na epektibo kapag nakaugat sa malasakit at pagkakapantay-pantay. So Estonia's story teaches us that the future of learning is both digital and deeply human. After examining Estonia's classroom practices, we now look at how those same principles scale nationwide through the AI Leap initiative, one of the most ambitious digital education reforms in Europe. Launched in 2024, the program introduced AI literacy for all secondary students, training teachers to integrate intelligence concepts across subjects, from data ethics to algorithmic thinking. Every school received guidelines and resources to help teachers use AI tools, not to replace instruction but to enhance personalization and feedback. The initiative was built on three pillars: capacity building, equity, and governance. Capacity building came through nationwide professional development. Teachers underwent AI training modules co created with universities and industry partners. Equity guardrails ensures that rural schools and low-income communities had equal access to devices, bandwidth, and technical support. And governance partnership between government, tech firms, and academia set ethical boundaries for student data and AI use. The Financial Times called it a model for responsible AI integration in public education because it balances innovation with inclusion. Para sa ating mga paaralan sa Pilipinas, Estonia's AI Leap offers a lesson in national capacity building. The digital transformation is not about buying technology, but about designing policy that trains, protects, and empowers teachers. When technology and policy move together, education becomes not only smarter, it becomes fairer and more future ready. After seeing Estonia's national AI initiative, this diagram helps us understand how innovation and evidence connect at a system level. Uh, System level. So this is the policy, practice, research, feedback loop, a model that describes how educational systems evolve through cycles of data, implementation, and reflection. It begins with comparative data, large scale studies like PISA or TIMSS that reveal patterns of achievement and equity across nations. This data inform policy targets, shaping goals for curriculum reforms, teacher training, and learning outcomes. Once translated into policy, the next phase is classroom implementation, where teachers and students bring these ideas to life. Here, evidence meets reality, and lessons learned from daily practice becomes the foundation for future change. Through learning analytics and research studies, we evaluate what works, what needs revision, and where the gaps lie. This information then feeds back into a culture of continuous improvement, allowing policymakers and educators to refine strategies with precision. Sa madaling sabi, ito ang ugnayan ng datos, patakaran at practice sa loob ng sistema ng edukasyon. So it is a living loop, one where research drives policy, policy guides practice, and practice generates new research. The world's most resilient education systems, including Estonia, Singapore, and Finland, thrive because they sustain this feedback cycle. For us in the Philippines, adopting this mindset means treating every reform, every classroom innovation as both a practice and a study. On on that contributes to the nation's collective learning. So, the story of Estonia's AI leap is not just about technology. It is about capacity building and governance rooted in trust. As we reflect on its lessons, we can ask, what would an AI ready education system look like in the Philippines? The first principle is alignment. Technology must evolve hand in hand with teacher development. AI integration will only work when teachers are equipped, not just with tools, but with the knowledge, confidence, and ethical grounding to use them effectively. Teachers are not end users of technology, they are its co-designers. The second lesson is capacity building over infrastructure. While devices and connectivity matter, the greater investment lies in training teachers to design AI supported lessons, analyze digital learning data, and model responsible technology use for students. And third, the Philippines must strengthen local policy ecosystems, linking research, classroom practice, and governance. Regional initiatives like those we envision in Nueva Ecija could serve as innovation hubs, piloting new models, collecting data, and feeding insights back in policy decisions, much like the policy practice research feedback loop we saw earlier. Fourth, as AI tools enter classrooms, we must embed ethical guardrails. Student data privacy, digital well being, and equitable access are not side issues. They are the foundation of responsible innovation. And finally, we must adopt a learn small scale smart approach. Pilot ideas in local settings, evaluate them carefully, and scale only what works. This approach ensures sustainability and relevance. Ang bawat patakaran ay dapat nakaugat sa ebidensya at karanasan ng mga guro at mag-aaral. The future of AI in the Philippine education is not a race to adopt technology. It is a journey to strengthen human capacity guided by research, ethics, and community collaboration. If teachers are at the center, then technology becomes what it should be, a tool for empowerment, not replacement. Across the world, we have seen how education systems achieve excellence through trust, coherence, and teacher empowerment. From Japan's collective lesson study to Singapore's systemic alignment and Estonia's AI leap, these models remind us that sustainable innovation begins with people. Yet, as we move into a new era, another transformation is underway. Data and artificial intelligence are reshaping how we understand learning, how we provide feedback, and how we ensure equity. In part 3, we will explore how AI, big data, and learning analytics can illuminate learning pathways, strengthen teacher decision making, and transform education while keeping humanity at its core.